Chicago. And we are back again this time because it has been a while. We are here on a smashing Monday. How was your Monday? Mine is absolutely fantastic. No, I did not put the title yet. Sorry about that. I just got some news, some information on a hot topic here in Chicago. But right now, we just pulled off the ramp from 94. Okay? And before we get started, if this is your first time watching The Mo Show Chicago, I ask that you hit that subscribe button right now. And the information that we provide for you, we ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. But before we get started, if you all know anybody that has had surgery and has had to take painkillers like gabapentin, most of the time is used for a patient's nerves. When they've severed your nerves some type of way during your surgical procedure. That medication is a painkiller, but that medication can also cause heart failure. When you begin to take that medication, look at the fluids that's in your ankles. When you have fluid in your ankles, that is a sign of heart failure. This is just not Mo. This is medically proven, and I know some people who've actually been through this, and it's all over the internet if you do medical research. Okay? So, there's a lot of things going on here in the city, or people that's from the city that's here. Like the rapper that's here from Chicago, Bloodhound Q50, who took a ride down there to St. Louis. Hit a lick. Him and his team stole $60K from somebody who was, I guess, important. Okay. Hey, what's going on out there in the chat room? I want to thank you all for being here, and I appreciate you because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by here to see what we had to say today. And right now the rain is coming down. And speaking of rain, here in Chicago, we got flooded. Like they got hit, like our next door neighbors in Milwaukee got flooded. Chicago got flooded. A lot of suburbs. Cars were floating in the water. Basements are flooded. Mold is everywhere. Hey, what's going on? The H&B bosses. The H&B bosses. Corinne, Molly. Hey, I want to thank you all for being here. Like I said, if it wasn't for you, a lot of things wouldn't be happening for me right now, so I appreciate you all. But the floods in Chicago is real. But back to Bloodhound Q50, the rapper, went down there and thought that St. Louis was sweet. Huh? St. Louis is not sweet. Ask those people there on Union Street and Beacon. Yeah, on Union and Beacon in St. Louis. Are you serious? It's not sweet. 100. That's not where their incident took place. That's just where I know people that hang out and where I used to be at in St. Louis, on Beacon and Union Street. It's not sweet. Anyway, the ops booked a fake show for him. You know, the people that he stole the money from? They booked a fake show for him, and him with his dumb, stupid, silly self goes back down there. And when they ride up in a truck that's not bulletproof, chaka, people began to pull out the ratchets. Over 60 shots fired at that car. Over 60 shots. But that's what he get. That's what he get. I don't understand these rappers who think that they are invincible. I don't care what city and state you are from. Just ask Mo3. Just ask Young Dolph. Just ask Pop Smoke. Just ask these rappers. Doesn't matter where you're from. It don't matter. Especially if you're out there grimy. Just ask 50 Cent. Just ask Jadakiss. You know. I got to move over here because this live is getting wet, okay? So I need some, yeah, something like that to get out the rain. But we are not going to stop this live. It has been 3 weeks since I did a live. And 2 of those weeks, I was traveling the country. 2 of those weeks, I was traveling the country. So you saw a lot of shorts that I was doing. But I was traveling, and seeing that you all don't appreciate all of the good stuff that I show you while I be traveling, I decided not to show you. However, I was sipping on some grape juice and or some lemonade under some palm trees, okay? But we went other places as well. Like I said, for 2 weeks we was gone. And this week when I got back, I had to acclimate myself, get things back going. But we here. But we here. But somebody's not here. Somebody's not here. And that's that vice lord. That mafia vice lord by the name of Kevin Tugg Watson. Now, I did a short on this the other day. And I got a response from someone out there in the chat room and asked me, why do I call him a former gang member? Did he do something to you? No, he never did anything to me. But I do know what goes on that set over there. Why do I know? Because I grew up on that set over there on the west side of Chicago. I had to make a couple of phone calls to some Norwoods, to some Easleys, to some Chews. Now, if you all are from Chicago, and if you're from on Fulton Street in Lamar, those families' names that I just mentioned to you, you know damn well that I'm not lying. I just spoke to these people, okay? And I went down there to Laverne, you know, spoke to some Bates, okay? Spoke to Bo, okay? You know, right there in the middle of the block, yeah. On Fulton, But needless to say, found out about this former gangbanger, aka alleged gangbanger, aka gangbanger, 42 years old, Kevin. They called him Tugg, vice lords. But the mafias they're at war right now. They're at war right now. You know those shootings that took place about a week ago when they were partying, when they had the teen takeover right there on Fulton and La Crosse and all of that stuff? Not the Wilcox and Kilbourne, no, but the La Crosse Street incident. Excuse me. Some of that has stemmed from that. But him in particular, Kevin, over here on Madison and Laverne, which is just a couple of blocks away from Fulton and Laverne, by Spencer High School, yeah. Just to let you know, we real about this. They killed that man because they wanted his tip. They wanted his spot. For all of you that's in the game, there's no love in the game. None. In fact about it, according to surveillance video, they got the killers sitting in the car about 10 to 15 minutes before this man even pulled up. He was already doing this live. So they watching him the whole time. Now, In the meantime, they wanted this chain on his neck. That's the small end of the stick. The big end of the stick is that they wanted his spot. They wanted that block. They wanted what he had. And according to his own brother, his brother said, what? They didn't like you there. Was it their Aurora connection? Was it that they were showing love to people in Aurora? Was it because they envied him? Yes. Was it because they wanted his spot? Yes. This happens all the time. There's no loyalty in the game. I remember back in the day, and I'm going to take you back in the day, when there was loyalty in the game, when you had people like One-Armed Fred Gage, yeah. When you had people like Monroe Banks, Minister Rico, China Joe, Lauren C., Cox, AJ, yeah, Boo Boo, Prince Shorty. There was ethics to the game. Big Jim, there was ethics to the game. T-Fly, there was ethics to the game. High Neef, there was ethics to the game. King Rodney, there was ethics to the game. Kurt Fletcher, there was ethics to the game. Now there's none. Now there's none. This is not the first attempt that was made on this life. They've made attempts on this man's life 4 or 5 times already, up there on the same tip. The people who set him up know him. He was backdoored by his own people. He was backdoored. Kevin Tugg Watson was backdoored by his own people. My cousin, King of Unknowns, Tremont, was backdoored by his own people over there on Chicago Avenue in Leamington a year ago. When I did that story, I was at Hilton Head in South Carolina. Got the news. Yeah. And he was backdoored by his own right-hand man that he came into the game with. Backdoored. Ain't no love in these streets. Karma does not have an expiration date. And then after the shooting, according to his own brother, Boo Money, he said that they went into his pockets and they robbed him of thousands of dollars. The chain was still on his neck, but while he was laying there dead, they was robbing him in his pockets. Not only that, the little guy, have you all seen the video of this? A so-called blood cousin who just watched his blood cousin Tugg get shot dead in the chest, laying there in the street. He went inside the car and got the very same material, meaning a bag from the car, that Tugg just already had. So I'm sure that he didn't give that to his brother. I'm sure he kept that for himself. Maybe he was a part of it too. Now, if this car is sitting in the vicinity where they're at and no one knows this car, in Chicago, you can't even sleep in your car in any area, let alone a strange car come to where you're tipping at and you don't notice the car. And it's the same car that's involved in the shooting and the death of Kevin Tugg Watson. But you all say that he is your family, but yet you were stealing from him and allowed people to steal from him while he's laying there dead on the ground after just being fatally shot by two shorties. Have you all heard that tape? I mean, watch that video. The young men that performed the execution, they not even sound like they were grown men. They sound like they were teenagers. But there's a lot of stories out there. But I got to the best story that I could, talking to the people who actually knew him, and some people that's actually in ops with mafia right now. This thing is real. It's been going on for a while. And it's sad to say that someone is going to continue to die. This is not over with. This is not over with. This is like killing the Monroe Banks. Maybe just a little less. But still, the idea of a fatal shooting and the death of Kevin Watson. Some say that karma caught up with him. He wasn't a nice dude all the time. He was a gangster. He was a gangster. Not a gangster gangbanger, but he was a gangster in the moves that he made. He was a street dude. These are the consequences for being in the street. These are the consequences of being plugged. There's no love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice in what was done to him. But it has happened to many. And he won't be the last. He won't be the last. Everybody is a suspect. Everybody's a suspect. I remember back in the day, on the same corner, there used to be a barbecue joint called Rib Supreme. Right there. On that very same corner. If you are a true Chicagoan, you know that there was a Rib Supreme right there on Madison and Laverne. After that barbecue place closed, it became Joe's, another barbecue place. Do y'all remember that? Joe's even served that fish and everything. Yeah, Jack Salmon, baby. Don't tell me I know what I'm talking about. But the man got backdoored. You can get backdoored not even being a part of a gang. You can get backdoored when someone just robs you, when they ask you for $1 and you help them out and they the same person who robs you. That happens all day in Chicago, so be careful who you donate your money to, because it just may be your last time donating money to anybody. It's hard out here in the city and you can't trust anybody. You all see that rain back there? Oh, it's rain. But we're still out here. And it's good to be back. I'm glad that you all is here, was here. I thank you for being here, because like I said, you could have been doing something else with someone else, okay? And we're going to get out of here due to the rain, but we'll be back later on tonight with We Got That Smoke. We may do another live. And watch out for my other channel, MOPOWERZ, here on YOUTUBE. And take a ride with me all across the country. And get enlightened with some audiobook series like Stolen Legacy, Black Man of the Nile and His Family, From Babylon to Timbuktu, As a Man Thinketh, The Black Man, The Message to the Black Man of America by Elijah Muhammad, The Fall of America, The Demonology of King James. We got a whole lot of stuff over there on MOPOWERZ, so get yourself over there and press that subscribe button. Watch those videos. Listen to those audiobook series that we have left for you. And if you've ever been on the Mo Show Chicago, the Mo Show in Chicago, where we had Twister, Shauna, Lil Jon, Eastside and the Boys, Sonya D, Dion Cole, Diane Corder, Reggie Reg, Quintella, Psychodrama, Affiliated Fellas, Official Business. Go over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space, here on YOUTUBE, and press that subscribe button. Like and share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation, and on your way out the door, make sure you do the same thing on this channel. Subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for viewing, you all. We'll see you all later on tonight. We got that smoke, another live, and more videos coming up for you on MOPOWERZ here on YOUTUBE. So stay tuned. Who is that out there? You like tacos? Ha! Me too. I just may go get me some right now. All right, you all. Peace out. Never give up on your DREAMS, and thanks for viewing.